Okay, waiting for people to start rolling in here on YouTube. And then I'll go live on Instagram in a minute. I have to edit this replay for sure. Oh, I forgot to change the thumbnail. Oh no. Go. Silly me. Nothing's ever gonna be perfect, but you know, here we are. Alright, let's find some better music. Okay. Okay, so we're almost ready to go. 2 minutes in. We're waiting for people to come in here. I should get a startup music thing. Start video, a stream starting video. I should definitely get one of those set up. So that's on my list. Actually gonna write that down right now. Okay. Thumbnail is updated. Double check. Make sure everything's good. Okay, everything's good. Let's go. We're on to do the first live stream of the year. Okay, let's get this thing going, man. All right. I'm gonna basically use this as a live video. Do I have everything ready? I don't know. Roll with it. Let's go live on IG and then get going. Okay, we are live on IG right now. So, okay. So, right now, I talked about the 3 things I learned as a filmmaker in 2024. I'm burping here. Okay, let's wait for some people to join in on the Instagram. But today I'm going to be talking about the 3 things I learned as a filmmaker in 2024. And these are things that you know, I've practiced in the past, but this year I really put the effort in. I really put the effort in to maximize on these 3 main things. And the first one is actually going to be a pretty fun one, but then the other ones are going to be a little bit more not so fun, and it's going to be more serious about life and everything like that. So let's just wait for a couple more people to join in here and chat, and then we're going to roll straight right into this. So Let me pull this up here. All right, 3 things I learned in 2024. Now, let's move that over there. Now, let's go into the first one, right? The first one was actually pretty fun. The first one is virtual production, okay? Now, I put a lot of effort into learning virtual production this year. Let me see if I can fix this. Yeah, scale it out. Trying to fix the stream on the on Instagram to make sure it fits, but it's not really working. So let me see here. Scale it one more time. That's good enough. Okay, let's get back to what I was saying. So the number one thing that I learned, the first thing I learned out of 3 this year was learning virtual production. And there's quite a few reasons why I wanted to learn virtual production. Now, obviously, it's the number one thing for me was the efficiency in being able to create high-level production quality stuff at a lower cost. And so many tools came out this year that allowed me to do this. For example, the number one tool that I'm thinking about right now is Jet Set Cine. That's one of the tools that I was able to practice with and learn this year. But let's scrolling a little bit further back. Earlier in the year in March, I went to NAB, and there were a lot of different companies and tools that I was looking at. And, one of the main things that pushed me forward in trying to learn virtual production is because I saw so much GAC camera stuff when I went to NAB, and it's a lot of stuff that people don't even necessarily need or use on a regular basis for their productions. And so the main goal I have for 2025, because I learned virtual production, is that I'm going to try. I would like to be able to create absolutely anything I can think of for my clients, but not only that, but also for myself. And I'll talk about that here in a little bit later on at the end when I'm talking about virtual production, because there's a big reason why I wanted to learn this. Not only do you get the ability to create whatever or do whatever in a virtual environment with virtual production, I think it's really opened up my mind when it comes to the way I think about filmmaking. A lot of times people might be stricken, or not stricken, what's the word I'm looking for? Some people might be pigeonholed due to a constraint in their location, budget, time, whatever. And I think utilizing virtual production is a way of combating some of the limitations that you might have with smaller productions. For example, I'm living in Orlando, Florida, and I know quite a few studios here that have the whole big LED wall thing. And the main thing that I learned in virtual production is you don't necessarily need to have the whole virtual production like LED wall set up to get good looking, good quality stuff. There's quite a lot of different tools that you can use to still get the same effect of light wrapping. So the main reason why people like to use the LED volume stuff is because of speed. And yes, you're gonna have to pay a lot to get the speed that you're looking for when using virtual production stuff like that. Let me switch cameras here. And so, if I move slightly back. Okay. So, there are quite a bit of different tools that you can use, that are just software that helps you achieve the same look of like having the whole LED wall set up. It just requires you a little bit of work in post, I know, but you're still able to achieve a still great quality in less time than it would have normally take with traditional methods, So another tool that came out was, for example, let me see if I remember the name. Not Lightcraft, but I'm having it blank right now. Switchlight Studios. That's what it was. So Switchlight Studios is a tool that I've been using on my virtual production stuff. When I bring my footage inside of Blender, I can create a normal map and allow lighting to affect the 2D image that I'm bringing into the 3D scene. So that's another thing that has allowed me to achieve a similar light wrap effect when it comes to the lighting, the same thing that you would be spending thousands, millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars for when it comes to building out the LED wall stuff. So you can still create high quality stuff using green screen, which is amazing. And so to circle all back this together, the main reason why I wanted to learn virtual production is so that I'm able to create a TV show, my own films, create a TV show that I've been thinking about for years now, writing. I'm still in the process of writing, but I'm close to being done, and I'm close to being able to present the ideas and shots from the film to people here soon. So one of the goals I have this year, simple goal, is to create a small little trailer to showcase what the show is about and garner some people to help build out this show. So that's one thing. Next. So the next thing is having standard operating procedures. So this is something that I thought I was pretty good at. I thought I was pretty good at creating procedures, and having systems. But once I start to learn more from other people and what they're doing, and having mentors that have done the things that I've already wanted to do, it showed me a lot. It showed me how much I don't know when it comes to developing systems and standard operating procedures. And so that's a major thing that I try to implement inside of the stuff that I'm trying to do. Yo, Brandon, what's up? Brandon in chat just joined on YouTube. Thanks, brother, for joining the live. So hey, by the way, brother, today I'm talking about the top things that I learned in 2024. So right now I'm talking about the first thing was virtual production, and then the second thing was is having a standard operating procedure and the SOP. So that's what that is right now. Now, for those of you who don't know, when it comes to having a business, no matter what business that is, it's important for you to have systems in place so everything becomes easy and repeatable. And so, there's a lot of things that I thought I had inside of my business, but it really wasn't there. One of the big things that helped me was having an optimized CRM that really centralized all of the different tools that I was using. So for example, instead of having a separate calendar system, a separate payment system, a separate invoicing system, a separate, all these different things, a separate email marketing system, all these different things that are all separated into different subscriptions, I've been able to learn from other people and find tools that has combine all these different elements together to make it easier to not only operate your business, but also become a more efficient videographer, professional videographer. And so one of the things that has helped me with that when it comes to developing a standard operating procedure is going with a proper CRM. The one that I use is called VidLead. It's built on top of Go High Level. If you've never heard of that, go ahead and look it up. It's a very powerful system. And so what this has allowed me to do is systematically develop funnels for my business, but not only that, this tool allows me to even help my clients as well, because they then can use a sub account from me where I can help them set up their own funnels and their own automations and systems to help nurture their leads and all sorts of stuff like that. And so that's one of the biggest things that I found that I needed to learn in 2024. And so I've also applied that to when it comes to hiring for different jobs. I've also applied that when it comes to any single thing. So especially when it comes to training as well. I've developed a couple of different courses in my business that are only for private people, for example, like clients and stuff. I have a complete ads mini course that I've created, and having an actual system on how to do certain things for every step of the things that I do in my business, it really streamlines the process when it comes to training a person on how to do that. So for example, VAs, when I had VAs, I have every single thing outlined on what they need to be doing, how they should do it. And then on top of that, I go even further when I'm creating my standard operating procedures by recording video tutorials so they know exactly what buttons I'm clicking and how I'm doing it and why I'm doing it this way. So that's number 2 of the things that I learned in 2024. And so let's move on to the next thing. So, and the last thing, this is the last thing that I think was the most valuable overall for the entire year. So, and this even relates back to having, what should I say? This even relates back to the first point, which was learning virtual production, because I wanted to be able to do anything when it comes to filmmaking. If you want to achieve anything, if you want to get where somebody has been, it's going to be way more powerful for you to actually reach out, try to get in contact, become their friend, or pay money to learn from that person. That's the only way you're gonna learn fast. See, like, I never went to filmmaking school. I didn't go to a school for 3-4 years trying to learn how to do things because I already knew how to do a lot of the things I taught myself. However, you're learning on your own can only go so far. And to show you a good example of that, right? If you look behind me, right here, I have a lot of books. Let's switch back here. So if you take a look at behind me, I have quite a few books, right? Now, I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you I read all of them. I have a couple books that I still need to read, you know? But when it comes to learning something, using the internet can only go so far, right? But then you're gonna have to take that to the next level and start reading books. Now, I've read a couple books, I've learned a lot, I've learned what I could learn from them. Then you need to take it to the next step. And the next step and the best way to accelerate your learning is to get a mentor. I think that's like, if you can even skip watching tutorials on YouTube, you can skip reading the books and just go ask the person that already knows how to do the thing you're doing, and they'll literally just tell you how to do it, unless they're like a gatekeeper or something. Unless that person is a gatekeeper that, you know, doesn't want to share information, then, you know, but like, there's plenty of people on the planet Earth, that can help you get to that next level by teaching you. So all you have to do is ask, you know? Yeah, Brandon, if you're gonna hire a VA or hire somebody on your team as like permanently, you gotta make like standard operating procedures and show them how to do stuff, and even take it another step and record a video on how to do it. So it really helps, bro. So let me give you some examples. Let me give you some examples on things that I've learned from my mentors, right? Now, let's start from the top. When it comes to virtual production, I had a mentor that taught me how to do green screening properly so that I can get the best results. And the way I was able to learn so quickly is the fact that I was able to just message them, ask questions. Hey, I did this and that, but it's not really working right. And they say, oh, look, you messed up right here. And imagine trying to troubleshoot that yourself when you don't know what you're doing wrong. Think about how much time you'll be wasting trying to do that. Right? Okay, people have commended me on how fast I've been able to learn Blender. Now, I've been able to learn Blender so fast because I have a mentor, a professional that uses Blender as his main tool to earn his income. And so I was able to ask him and get him as a mentor and a friend to learn from, to ask the stupid dumbass questions that I couldn't figure out, even if I looked it up on my own on the internet and I still can't figure it out. I was able to share my screen with him and say, hey, this and that is not working. And then he was able to just quickly say, oh, just do this and that, and it fixes it. You know, imagine the days, the weeks that could have gone by and be wasted simply because I was trying to figure it out on your own. You cannot figure out everything on your own, and you're gonna have to get mentors for every single aspect of your life. Another example, when it comes to business, right? Over the past 5 years, it's been up and down, obviously, with my video production company until I started focusing solely on a single thing when it comes to Trilux Creative. And Trilux Creative is my actual full-time job, my business, Trilux Creative. That's what I do for a living, is I help other businesses create commercials. So my service of videography, I use that and help other businesses create content for themselves so they can help, advertise, build an audience, whatever it may be, right? So I've been able to accelerate this portion, that business specifically, because I've been able to pay money to get a mentor to teach me each and every step and systematically develop a process so that I can hone in on what I should be doing specifically for that, right? So let's go even further. Let's go even further and find another example, right? I have quite a few friends that, I have the majority of my friends right now in my friend circle are other business owners who own a similar business to me, video production, videography, visual effects, whatever it may be. And I'm able to speak with them, the people that are ahead of me, so I can learn from them and learn what the best method is to approach a certain situation. And so it has been a blessing that the fact that I have all these people that I'm able to talk to, people that give a shit about me, And so that is why, man, I'm telling you, like, getting a mentor is the freaking most impactful thing I've ever done when it comes to learning anything. And so that is the last point of today's live stream, the first live stream of the year. And I hope this was very helpful. And, I'm looking forward to streaming a lot more. Hold on. But before I leave here, I want to make a small announcements, soft announcements for the 5 people that will be watching this, right? So those are the three things that I learned this year in 2024. Number 1, I learned virtual production, so I'll be able to make anything I can put my mind to, anything I can think of in my imagination. And then the second thing was having standard operating procedures for everything. I'm even going to start having a standard operating procedure for how I dress. Just wear the same thing every day, basically like a uniform. It's less brain space wasted on thinking about what to wear. just a funny side note. And then the last thing was getting a mentor. So that's basically the major 3 things that I learned this year. And the last thing I wanted to say was an announcement that I will be, outside of my regular day job, I will be focusing on 2 things. I have two TV shows that I'm working on. One's called Interclip, and the other is called Nexus of Rebellion. Interclip, a lot of people already know what that is. It's just going to be a yearly continuous show that shows that just basically focuses on racing, automotive racing, and specifically drifting. So it's going to be a video series that tracks the Florida competitive pro scene when it comes to drifting. But that's not the big point I want to talk about. The big point I want to talk about is Nexus of Rebellion. So this is the reason I learned virtual production in the first place. Is because I wanted to be able to have full control of the development of my TV show. And so learning virtual production has allowed me to continue and start to accelerate the development of this TV show, simply because of the fact that I'll be able to do whatever I want. I will be able to actually achieve this big project. Now, this is a massive project. It's going to be the biggest project I will ever work on in my entire life. I will be spending the rest of my life basically working on this not video, but TV show. And so the first step, I have had to break down each step of developing this project into smaller chunks so that I can actually achieve it. And so in 2024, I was able to achieve that first step, completely learn the ins and outs of virtual production so that I'll be able to create whatever the hell I want. Now that I've achieved that, now now I'm going to be starting to develop everything else to create the back end of the show to help fund the show. So this show will have a lot of perks, actually. What's up, Sam? What's up? Welcome to the show, man. You just missed all the 3 steps for this year. So if you want to just scroll back in the stream, you can go ahead and see what the 3 steps and 3 things that I learned this year. But right now, I'm going to be talking about this TV show that I'm going to be spending the rest of my life working on. So, to give you an idea, right? I'm a big fan of sci-fi films, very big fan. And this is going to be a vast world environment. Well, it takes place inside of our current existing galaxy, because it is going to be so let's see what he says here. Interclip is got me working first ways. Yes, bro. Yes, Brandon, thanks, man. And I'm still gonna be working on interclip videos, by the way. So don't worry. It's still gonna be the same how it is right now. It's just not gonna be as time intensive as Nexus of Rebellion. So to give you an idea of what Nexus of Rebellion is about, this is a sci-fi television show that is a hard sci-fi, so everything has to be somewhat realistic and plausible when it comes to the plot lines of the story and the things that happen, you know, the warfare, you know, space flights and all that stuff. I don't want to go too far into details, you know, but there are going to be multiple nations, interplanetary nations, so, you know, Earth, Mars, Moon, etc., blah blah blah. And in this universe, there are going to be a side branch show that's going to be all about racing, like spaceship racing, which is going to be cool. I like racing. People that has followed me on Instagram before knows that I like racing. You know, Interclip, the brand that I have, is about racing. Interclip is a TV show / brand, whatever. It is about racing, but you know, Nexus of Rebellion, that's just going to be one aspect that happens in the background, counter to the main overall story arc. To give you an idea of what the story is about, it does involve a little bit of interplanetary racism and conflict between nations, but so it's kind of like the same stuff that's happening now on Earth, just on a larger scale and interplanetary, to give you an idea. So that's what's going to happen. And obviously, there's going to be battles and wars and stuff like that. A lot of drama, a lot of love interest and stuff. This is going to be a rated M show, so it's not for kids. And that's why I'm trying to solo fund this show. And this show is going to be like, I don't know how to describe it to you guys, but this is going to be the biggest project of my life. And so I'm very excited for that. But then specifically how it's going to be funded is going to be giving a lot back to the community. So I've had a Patreon for probably a few months now. Haven't really made anything from it because I've been posting to it consistently, but it hasn't really gotten that big of a traction of people that wants to go over there to learn anything. So, but that's fine. The reason why I brought that up is the fact that I'm going to be deleting that Patreon, and I'm on the Nexus of Rebellion website. I will be having a completely custom experience for supporters of the show, kind of like Patreon. However, you'll be able to get Discord access. You'll be able to get assets that I create for the show. You'll be able to get behind the scenes content, signed posters, all sorts of stuff like that. And depending on what tier of support you're giving the show, you could potentially even have a little bit of involvement of the development of the show. And you could maybe have not a planet, but a base named after you, or a ship named after you. You know, you could have some involvement in the show in some way, not just have your names in the credit. Just all depending on the level of support that you'll be wanting to give the show. And the pipeline and the not pipeline, but timeline. The timeline and the trajectory of the show is going to be fully outlined. So if you're a supporter, you'll know exactly what's happening in the show at what time and what process of development the show is in. And so that's another cool thing. There's going to be a complete there's going to be complete transparency on where the funds are going to help the show. And one of the goals I have this year, right, when it comes to Nexus of Rebellion, is on my birthday, I really would like to have an in-person screening here in Orlando of the trailer of the show. So I have 5 months basically to create this elaborate, high quality, like AAA studio level quality 30-second trailer. So I think that's plenty of time, you know, to make something. So that's what I'll be working on my off time outside of working for my day job, Trilux Creative, with my video clients. And so thank you for joining me on today's live stream. It was only a short one, I know, but yeah. Looking forward to seeing everyone this year, and looking forward to seeing you guys on the next live stream where I'll be working on concept art for Nexus of Rebellion. And so to give you an idea, right? To give you an idea of what all the streams going forward are going to be about, it's going to be in relation to developing the show. So that's the majority of what my personal YouTube content is going to be about, is working on some aspect of the show on the live stream. And then if you'd like to get even more in-depth premium content, you can go ahead and become a member and a supporter, you know, and join the Rebellion Council to be a supporter of the show. So yeah, I just would like to make some more stuff before I really start promoting the TV show. So I want to create more stuff. I want to have the website completely done and all that stuff, and have content in the actual community already, like valuable content for people to download and use and whatnot, before I start really pushing it. Because in every live stream, I will be pushing the TV show hard, and even in my videos, I'll be pushing the TV show hard. So every episode, every live stream, I will be mentioning the show. So, you know, it is what it is. I want to get the show completely crowdfunded so that I won't have any like limitations when it comes to having other people's not ideas, but like executive people or whatever, like bad ideas, because they want the show to be like PG or whatever. So anyways, that's gonna be it for today's live stream. And so thank you guys so much for following me. Thank you, Brandon, for following me. Thank you, Sam, for being here and following me. And I really appreciate you guys' support. Nobody's really talking to me on Instagram, but it is what it is. I'll wrap the stream here on Instagram. So thank you so much.